big Social Security update just dropped. And seniors, this one affects your wallet. Before we break down what the rule really means, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next major SSA alert. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so glad you're here because today we have some really important news that could affect your wallet and your retirement plans. If you're collecting Social Security or you're thinking about when you'll start collecting, you absolutely need to stick around for this video because everything just changed. The Social Security Administration made an announcement, and this new rule is taking effect starting today. And honestly, it's one of the biggest changes we've seen in years. So let me start by asking you this. How many of you are currently collecting Social Security? Or maybe you're getting close to retirement age and you're wondering what's going to happen when you start drawing benefits. Well, the Social Security Administration has been listening to feedback from seniors and retirees across the country, and they've decided that something needed to change. Today, that change officially begins. And I want to make sure you understand exactly what this means for you and your family. Now, before we dive into the details, I want to remind you that if this video is helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of these important updates. The Social Security Administration doesn't always make announcements in the most user-friendly way. So, I'm here to break it down for you in plain English. Let's get into it. For decades, the Social Security system has been operating under a set of rules that many people felt were outdated and didn't reflect the way people actually live and work today. The world has changed so much since these rules were first created, but the system kind of stayed the same. Well, after countless requests from seniors, advocacy groups, and even some members of Congress, the SSA decided it was time to modernize how they do things. And that's exactly what this new rule does. The new rule that's taking effect today focuses on something that affects millions of Americans: how the Social Security Administration treats your earnings once you start collecting benefits. Now, for a long time, there's been what we call an earnings test. This basically means that if you started claiming Social Security before your full retirement age and you were still working and making money, the Social Security Administration would reduce your benefits. They took away money from your benefits based on how much you were earning. And for a lot of people, this didn't make sense. They felt like they had already paid into the system their whole lives through taxes. So why should their benefits be reduced just because they were still working? Well, the new rule makes some major changes to how this earnings test works, and the changes actually start today. Under the old system, if you were under full retirement age and collecting Social Security, the SSA would reduce your benefits by 50 cents for every dollar you earned above a certain amount. That amount changes every year, but it was around $23,000 or so. So if you earned over that amount, you would lose money from your Social Security checks. And for a lot of people who wanted to keep working while claiming early benefits, this was a real problem. It meant that you couldn't really make much money without it affecting your benefits. And that just didn't feel fair to many people. But here's what's happening today. The Social Security Administration is eliminating the earnings test entirely for anyone who has already reached their full retirement age. This is huge. It means that if you've already hit your full retirement age, you can earn as much money as you want from working, and it won't affect your Social Security benefits at all. Not one penny will be taken away. You'll receive your full benefits, and you can work and earn as much as you want. This is a really significant change because for years, people felt trapped. They felt like they had to choose between working or claiming their full benefits. Now, if you're at full retirement age, you don't have to make that choice anymore. But there's more to this new rule, and I want to make sure you understand all the different parts. For people who are younger than full retirement age, the rule is a bit different, and it's also been updated. Under the new system, if you're receiving Social Security before you reach your full retirement age, the earnings test still applies, but it's been significantly less restrictive than it was before. Now, the reduction is $1 in benefits for every $2 you earn above the threshold instead of the old 50-50 split. So basically, if you're still under full retirement age and you want to keep working, Your benefits won't be cut as much as they would have been under the old rule. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. This sounds great, but what does it actually mean for my situation? Well, let me break down some specific scenarios so you can see how this might apply to you personally. Imagine you're 65 years old. You've decided to start collecting Social Security early, but you're also still working as a consultant, making about $30,000 a year. Under the old system, your benefits would have been significantly reduced because you were earning over the limit. But with this new rule that takes effect today, the reduction is going to be much less significant because of that new 1-to-2 ratio. Your income affects your benefits less than it used to. But here's an even better scenario. Imagine you're 68 years old, you reached your full retirement age a couple years ago, and now you've picked up a part-time job that pays $50,000 a year. Under the old system, you would still have had to worry about how much you could earn without affecting your benefits, even though you were past full retirement age. This would have been confusing and frustrating for a lot of people. But with today's new rule, none of that matters anymore. You hit full retirement age, so the earnings test is completely eliminated for you. You can earn $50,000, $100,000, $1,000,000, it doesn't matter. Your Social Security check stays exactly the same. This is a game changer for people who want to stay active in the workforce and keep earning money in their later years. The Social Security Administration decided to make this change because they recognized something really important. Older Americans are living longer, they're healthier, and a lot of them want to keep working. It's not just about the money anymore, although that's certainly part of it. Many people feel fulfilled by working. They want to stay productive and they want to contribute to society. The old system basically punished people for doing exactly that. It made people feel like they had to choose between claiming benefits and working, and that wasn't fair. This new rule recognizes that people's lives are more complex than that, and it gives them more flexibility and freedom. Now let's talk about why this matters so much and why I wanted to make sure you heard about it today. For a lot of seniors and near retirees, this new rule could mean thousands of dollars in additional income every year. If you've been worried about claiming Social Security early because you're still working, this rule might actually make early claiming a more attractive option for you. Before, if you claimed early and kept working, you'd lose money from your benefits. But now, if you're getting close to full retirement age, the reduction is much less severe. And once you hit full retirement age, boom, the reduction goes away completely. That's a big deal. Let me give you another real-world example. Sarah is 64 years old and she wants to retire from her full-time job, but she was thinking about picking up freelance work to keep herself busy and earn a little extra money. Before this new rule, she would have worried about claiming Social Security early because any money she earned from freelance work would have reduced her benefits significantly. So, she might have decided to keep working full-time just to avoid that penalty. It was a really frustrating situation. But now, with this new rule in place, she has more options. She could claim early, take on freelance work, and lose less money from her benefits than she would have before. Or she could wait a few years until full retirement age, at which point she could claim and work without any penalty at all. She has more choices, and that's what this new rule is really about. The Social Security Administration also made this change because they're aware of the ongoing debate about the best age to start claiming benefits. Financial advisors often recommend waiting until full retirement age or even until 70 to maximize your lifetime benefits. But not everyone can afford to wait, and some people want to keep working. This new rule gives people who want to start early and keep working a better option. You're not automatically penalized as heavily for doing so. Now, I want to be clear, waiting to claim Social Security still has its benefits. Your monthly check will be higher if you wait. But at least now, if you can't wait or don't want to wait, you're not punished as severely for working while you collect benefits. I also want to mention that this new rule applies to spousal benefits and survivor benefits as well. So if you're claiming based on your spouse's work record, or if you're receiving survivor benefits because of a deceased family member, this new rule affects you too. Your earnings won't impact your benefits in the same way they did before. This is important because a lot of widows and widowers rely on survivor benefits, and they might also be working. This change gives them more flexibility and more financial freedom. The same goes for spouses who are claiming spousal benefits while maybe working part-time or running a small business. Now, let me address something that I know some of you might be concerned about. You might be wondering, does this new rule apply to me? How do I know if I'm eligible for these changes? The great news is that if you're currently collecting Social Security, this new rule applies to you right away. If you're already drawing benefits and you've been worried about how your work earnings affect your check, things are changing for you as of today. And if you're planning to claim benefits in the future, you can use this information to make a better decision about when to claim. The Social Security Administration is being really transparent about how this is going to work. They've already updated their website with information about the new rule, and their customer service representatives are trained to explain it to you if you call. You can also visit your local Social Security office if you want to talk to someone in person. I really encourage anyone who's affected by this rule to reach out to the SSA and ask questions. This is your money, and you deserve to understand exactly how it works. I also want to talk a little bit about the bigger picture here. This isn't just about earnings tests. This is about the Social Security Administration recognizing that the system needed to evolve. Seniors and retirees today are different from seniors and retirees from previous generations. People are working longer. People are healthier. People want more flexibility. The COVID-19 pandemic also showed us that traditional retirement might look different going forward. Remote work, gig economy jobs, and flexible schedules are now much more common. The old Social Security rules didn't really account for any of that. This new rule is a step toward modernizing the system to fit the way people actually live and work today. Now, as with any big change to Social Security, there are going to be some people who have different opinions about it. Some people think the change doesn't go far enough. They believe the earnings test should have been completely eliminated for everyone, not just for people who've reached full retirement age. Others have expressed concerns about the cost of this change and what it means for the long-term solvency of the Social Security system. But I think most people would agree that giving older Americans more flexibility and freedom in how they manage their retirement and work life is a good thing. Let me wrap up by giving you some action steps you should take if this new rule affects you. First, if you're currently collecting Social Security and you're still working, this is a great time to review your situation. Calculate how much you're currently earning and think about whether you could earn more without worrying as much about your benefits being reduced. Second, if you're planning to claim Social Security in the next few years, think about this new rule as you make your claiming decision. It might change your timeline or your strategy. Third, reach out to the Social Security Administration if you have specific questions about how this rule applies to you. They're there to help, and they have the most up-to-date information. And finally, I want to encourage you to think about what this rule change means philosophically. It's saying that older Americans deserve respect and autonomy. It's saying that we shouldn't punish people for staying active and continuing to work. It's saying that retirement doesn't have to look the same for everyone. Some people want to stop working completely. Some people want to keep working. Some people want to phase into retirement gradually. And this new rule gives people more options to do what works best for their individual situation. So there you have it, folks. The big change that's happening today with the new SSA rule. I hope this explanation was clear and helpful. If you have any questions or if there's something about this new rule you want me to explain further, please leave a comment below and let me know. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with friends and family who might be affected by this change. Social Security is so important, and I want to make sure everyone understands what's happening with their benefits. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care.